Yo, sorry but not sorry. Boxing talk with your boy, man. CamJ, man. We live and direct, man. We got a banger show for y'all, man. The first show out of 4 shows on CamJNetwork today, man. And we gonna cook up, man. Starting off with the sorry but not sorry boxing talk roundtable episode 1, man. I'm got my guys on here today, man. So we gonna cook up. We got a few topics to go over, and we gonna go over the slew of fights that we got in 2025 for this summer, man. It's gonna be crazy this summer, man. We got some crazy fights this summer for sure, man. So it's a lot of stuff that we're gonna be breaking down for entertaining today for sure. You know what I mean? But it's lit. Let me get my guys in here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, let me get it right here. Got to share it to some of my people so we can get this out in the algorithm, man, for sure. Got you. All right, I got you. I ain't seen you on here. All right. Let me in for. There you go. I'll do it that way. You know, almost got them out. Shoot something. Dubby, why I ain't seeing you in the chat? Hey, hey, Bean.
Yeah.
Go, yeah, go out and come back in. Do that, and then
Okay.
you should be good when you do that.
Okay.
All right, there you go, Dubby. Oh, you might be coming out. You might be good. We're gonna get it cracking. Yo,
Twin.
what it look like? What it look like, man?
You already know. You already know. Let's get it cracking, man. We got a nice fight day going on, cooling. But let's get these topics going. Where the
Yeah.
guys at? Let's get the guys in, man.
Let me go. So this, I got this. Okay, we good.
Cold in the motherfucker in here. God damn.
All right, we got him back in there. Boom. Let's get Gene. Then we can get started because I don't know. I do not know where this man is at. He's supposed to be busy.
Shit, since I can't use my motherfucking laptop, I'm gonna go put the motherfucking fights on.
All right, so we got boom.
What up, Eugene?
What up, fam?
Yo,
What up,
yo.
OG?
All right, man. So the fellas on, man. Hey, and this is the first episode. This is a new show that I'm about to start doing, like, you know what I'm saying, as far as doing a round table where I start inviting people on and we talk about and having that dialogue, that conversation
Right,
and
right.
everything. You feel me? And I think it's gonna be dope, man. And I think this one definitely just to start it off, you know what I mean? Salute to my boy Doobie's Ring, man, my dog, man.
Yes, sir.
Young boy been working, man, you know what I'm
Know
saying,
it.
grinding on the boxing content, man,
Know
becoming
it,
a,
bro.
you know what I'm saying, he a sponge
Right.
to the boxing culture right now, you know what I mean? And
Yes, sir.
salute to the family, man. Bane, man, from Wayne Rock Boxing Podcast. You got to turn your screen, turn it turn it around, Bane, because you sideways right now.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you
I'm
sideways.
learning, man.
Now you good. You all good. You all good. You
Don't
all
even sweat
good.
it, OG. We here.
Yeah, you are good, but
Okay,
yeah,
You got,
salute to,
yeah,
like
to
that.
you
there
got
you
it.
go.
You
There
got
you
it.
go. Yup.
Yo, do me a favor. Can y'all hear me like this?
Yeah, you good. I hear you
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hear
All
both
right.
of y'all
Perfect.
perfect.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
hear both of y'all perfect, man. Yeah, so yeah, man. Salute to Doobies Ring and Bean from Ring Walk Boxing Podcast for joining. Sorry, but not sorry. Boxing Talk round table episode one, man. This is gonna be the
Yes, sir.
first of many. You know what I mean? And we got some hot topics to talk about today, man. And we definitely, like I said before, we're gonna talk about the upcoming fights that we have for the summer, man. We got some bangers starting from May 31st on up until September, man.
Nah,
So we're
for
gonna run
real.
down them. We ain't gonna break down them 100% crazy, but we're
Right.
gonna break them down and talk about them in later, break them down in a little, in a few layers. You feel me? You know what I'm saying, on the
Mm-hmm.
cook up. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
so just to get started, man, on the first topic, man, that we got, man. Um, yeah, I seen this report from Brunch Boxing the other night. With basically they're saying that TKO and Saudi boxing venture is having trouble attracting talent right
Yeah.
now as far as filling their roster. And it sounds pretty much from what they're saying, like they're saying that Dana White and Turkey is having a little rift a little bit far as how they're moving with finding talent, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a startup league. I mean, it's a startup organization for real. And
Right.
you just look at they said when TKO Holdings unveiled its long rumored Saudi backed boxing league in March, the announcement was met not with shockwaves but tepid shrugs. No name, no fighters, no clear path forward, just another speculative leap by Dana White into a sport that's eluded is his grasp for decades. And now, with the calendar creeping toward 2026 and the league's promised launch, it's becoming evident that the TKO boxing venture isn't not off to a rousing start. The league's existence was confirmed during the March earnings call by TK Holdings president and COO Mark Shapiro, who revealed that UFC Dana White will be driving the force behind the new enterprise. They said Dana White is set to receive $10 million payout to produce, promote, and operate TKO boxing. And Shapiro emphasized
That's not a.
12,
That's. Sorry to cut
12
you off, but
cards, 12 cards, um, with 12 cards within 5 years, and 1 to 4 super fights per year. And they're going to reveal the actual name of the company soon. It's not going to be called TKO Boxing. It's going to be called something different other
right.
than that. You know what I mean? So right now, like I said before, they're having they're having a hard time getting people on the roster right now, trying to start up and everything, man. And they're starting up for the ground up, and you got to look at something that I want to read this to real quick. Oscar De La Hoya said, he said you cannot run a boxing organization when you have zero fighters. He said they're trying to build something years from now when fighters' contracts came up with current promoters, and then they will try to start attempting to sign them. So what y'all think about this, man? Right here at TKO, man, they getting off to a hot start, man. They said the pay is nasty work, and they're not attracting some of these fighters right now to get on TKO boxing, man. How y'all feeling about it?
Eugene, you want to go first?
Uh, excuse me. Um, I'll be honest, man. I'm not so privy on that, so I'm gonna do some more delve into it on some research as far
Mm.
as that. I heard of it, you know what I mean, but I don't really
Yeah.
know a whole lot about it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What I kind of like, I did a little research on it. From what I got, it seems like them Saudi niggas is dropping bags and trying to make boxing global. Like we see Riyadh season, and, that's clearly they're just trying to put more bread into the sport, which is cool. Uh, but it just seems like Turkey Al Sheikh's vision, if they can't get stars like a Canelo or Crawford, if those guys ain't biting for that type, for that league, then I just don't see, money talked in boxing, So that's what I got from it. I see his vision, but and I don't think it's gonna be easy for him, but I don't think it can't be done for him, but it's just not gonna be easy.
Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, man, I've been, talking about this story for a long time pertaining for us, TKO boxing with Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh. And I'm just saying, like, Turkey Al-Sheikh, just be honest. Obviously the boxing ventures that he have currently going on isn't doing well. Let's be honest, not doing well currently what he's doing, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Even though
not everything's
he's putting on some
gonna be a
fights and stuff.
success. Not everything's gonna be a
You're
success.
absolutely
Yeah,
right.
he's
Well,
had
we got to be real.
successful events.
It ain't being successful right now, and it's actually like it's actually fucking hurting the sport a little bit, to be honest. Not even a little bit. It
Dragging.
is,
I
but
think people are
I'm just
dragging.
saying in general, with TKO boxing, like I said, it was going to be hard for them to start off this whole organization. Is of course, with them, you don't have no fighters. So you got to go ahead and look at the amateurs and try to grab amateurs and get them going and start them up and everything from the ground up. And then, like Dana White, I mean, like Oscar De La Hoya said, they're waiting for some of these big name fighters to come up off contract so they can try to reel them in and sign them over there. But when they release those prices of what these fighters will get paid and stuff, that shoo a lot of the big name fighters away in reality. You know what I'm saying? They seeing
I
like the
mean, but
most
like,
they seeing the most you gonna get paid is 750,000 and shit. Like the champion gets 750,000. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
then
I
you
mean,
trying to eliminate
I
the
ain't like,
Muhammad Ali Act.
yeah, look, I ain't one of those guys that like get into all the prices and all that shit. I like the fights, like Cam. But shit, if it work, it work. It don't, it don't. I just put the fight on for me. That's how I look at it. Like, I just want to see him scrap. Is we scrapping or not? That's my thing.
See, but then the thing is though, and you gonna learn and see this as you go, as get amongst the boxing content. As a fan, I feel like as a boxing fan, I do want to know what's going on with the business and stuff, and if the sport is going to be sustainable to continue and
I,
go on. You know what I'm saying? When you losing money in
it's
boxing,
going
bro,
on
in
since the
any
1800s,
business,
bro.
when you losing
They've been
business,
boxing since the
when you
1800s.
when you
They've been
lose
boxing since the
when you
1800s.
losing money and look at Jay-Z when he tried to come into boxing. He ain't even here no more.
I
There's
don't,
been a lot
I don't
of
even remember that.
guys, bro.
I wasn't that
Yeah,
here.
I
See?
will say
yeah.
this though.
That's why we here, man. We here to school you. We here to school you
Well,
on some of
shit.
that, brother. You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
When you losing money in boxing, bro, it doesn't bode well for the business, man. It doesn't. You know
You
what I
hear me?
mean? It
Yeah.
hurts the sport. We can hear you.
Okay, I just want to
Go
make
ahead.
sure.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm on. I'm new to doing this by myself. I normally have somebody here setting up all the sounds and
Yeah,
everything. But,
you all good. We hear you perfect. Yeah, go ahead, go
okay,
ahead.
no, I just
You
want
gotta say, you
to
had something to say. Go ahead, go ahead.
put my little 2 cents in. So shout outs to Rob Elmore.
uh-huh.
And Rob is a lot like him. You know what I mean? And like I said, I respect all boxing talk. You know what I mean? I try to look at everything as
Yeah,
long as it's somebody not purposely trolling or just being just being
right.
ignorant. You know what I mean? But if somebody's really trying to bring some tangible proof or they can support what they're saying,
Hmm.
I'm a listen. You know what I'm saying? But like
Right.
to your point, Cam, and to Doobie's point as well, I'm kind
Facts.
of like Doobie to an extent. I've been watching boxing since the age of 8, but like Doobie said, this is a primitive sport that's been around so long, and and this is just my opinion, and I could be
Hmm.
wrong, but it's
Yeah.
like if boxing's been around this long, I don't think nothing's new under the sun. I think what happened has happened and will happen in the future when I'm dead
Yup.
and gone too. You know what I mean? It's just boxing's gonna be revolving. I think it's gonna always be here,
Yeah.
ups and downs, flips, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's still here
Yeah.
to this day.
Yeah. And I feel like every sport kind of goes through these types of things as well. You know what I mean? It's not something that's like business is something that's always going to be up and down in general. You know, that's just how I look at it. But and it's no disrespect to any takes or anything like that. I definitely respect it for sure, and definitely understand them. That's why I'm here. I'm definitely here to learn and stuff like that as well. So I definitely feel you, brothers.
Yeah, I'm just saying with any business, bro.
Facts.
With any business, you don't want to be in the red the whole fucking time. And right now, if y'all, just to let y'all know, the Saudis is pulling that money back. Some of that money that's being dished out that he's doing, Like now, Turkey's starting to have to run his own money on these events, and that's what he didn't want to do. He want to use the Saudi money. That's why you got to understand the stance with Saudi Arabia. The whole reason why they're in the boxing and kind of be involved with the entertainment industry is to, soothe their country, to try to change the narrative on, the Middle East out there, for us them, because they really are enemies out there. You know what I'm saying? That you want to go political with it, you know what I mean, in that sense. But I'm just saying in general, they're trying to change the narrative on the bad, instance that they have out there on the Saudis with them, and they're trying to mix it amongst entertainment and stuff, and they're trying to bring tourism out there in Saudi Arabia out there. You know what I mean, but the thing is, the people out there don't give a fuck about the sport. They don't give a fuck about the sport. You see them at their, bro, they in their phones while the fights is going on. They ain't even watching the fights for real. You feel me? Like, I'm just saying in general, bro. Right now, with TKO boxing, that shit's not going to work with them. It's not going to work. It's not. It's already up to. Because Dana White, he don't even care to be in boxing for real. For real, he really don't. And then look at him. Look what he did at UFC. That man just had to give $375 to former UFC fighters over there. You know what I mean? PBC is fine, Tony. They good, bro. They got Jeff Bezos, a fucking billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, backing them, bro. Like, come on, they're good, bro. Like they're giving us free. And the crazy part right now, like I announced on my little update I did a couple weeks ago, where I said that PBC's about to give us a slew of free fights, bro. They're giving us a slew of free fights, bro, right now. And the main fight, yeah, I got you, Rob. Hold on, I got you. Hold on.
And my boy Rob in here, man.
And
he's trying to drop them takes in here, man.
And what?
I got you, Rob. I got him.
And
twin. And
yeah, like I was saying, bro. PBC, they good, bro. They good because they main event that they got right now for us pay-per-view wise is going to be Tank and Roach on the rematch. You know what I mean, but I'm hearing that the Barrios and Pacquiao fight is going to be a free fight. It ain't going to be pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And even if it is pay-per-view, he probably got kicked out. I don't know how. But even if it is pay-per-view, it probably ain't gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It probably ain't gonna be no $80 to see Pacquiao and Barrios. And then, I already announced the undercard for that card. The undercard is fire. They got Tim Tszyu and Fundora as the co-main event on that card. Yeah, I mean, PBC is good. They're bringing a lot of their stars is starting to get back active. Like, I mean, and look at PB, like the guys that don't generate money for PBC, they throwing them on turkey cards. Like here, y'all can have Pitbull Cruz, y'all can have Rolly, y'all can have Carlos Adames right here. You feel me? Like, I'm saying that's what they doing. PBC is good. Like, y'all gotta stop listening to Rick Glazer, bro. That's the whole thing. Y'all talking point about PBC comes from Rick Glazer. And he be wrong every time, man. So stop listening to Rick Glazer, man. He be misinforming y'all all the fucking time.
Hey, let me say this too, Cam J.
Go ahead.
Like I said, because Doobie brings up a good point, and you do too. So I kind of like to try to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? When people say stuff, I try to be, I'm always trying to take a neutral take. But it's like I'm respecting and I'm learning like Cam J, Rob, and my dude Matthew Brown in New York. I'm kind of learning more to try to be privy to the business side of boxing as I'm older. I'm 45 and I'm kind of like all in, wanting to learn because, around my work schedule, I can sit down and kind of like do some research, or I can kind of like have my ears open. I listen to Cam J, I listen to Rob. I like to listen to different people. But you got to understand, my love for boxing came from being an 8-year-old kid, going to Lincoln Heights with my dad, watching Mike Tyson knock out Michael Spence when I was 8 years old. Nowhere in my mind was me thinking like, okay, as an 8-year-old kid, like, okay, so I'm supposed to know that Don King was behind Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? That wasn't even on my mind. What attracted me to boxing is the here and now. Okay, they're here, they're in the ring, they're going to make it happen. You know what
I
I'm saying?
can't see y'all.
Facts.
But that's what made
Facts.
me like boxing is the actual analyzing it and seeing it and breaking it down and understand the language and the ring IQ of boxers and who's
Yeah.
a sucker for the right hand, who's a sucker for that left, who goes to the body well, who knows how to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how
Yeah.
to be in the pocket and but
Yeah.
know when not to be in the pocket too long. You know what I mean? I just like all the
Yeah.
science of it. I really
Yeah.
didn't really care about the business all like that. But now that I'm a little more mature and older, I don't mind trying to learn it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Not, I feel like
Yeah.
that's the thing
It
too. Like
evolves.
I
It
feel like I'm
evolves.
definitely
I'm
gonna get there,
evolving. Yeah.
especially because I'm still fairly new to the sport myself. Like I fell in love with boxing like 7 years ago now, 6 years ago now. I want to say almost
Mhm.
7, and after I forgot where was that. How long ago was Tank's fight at the Barclays? That was
Talking
2019.
about the fight with Rolly. Yeah, that was the last fight. I think it was probably like 2021. I think yeah, it was 2019. I think yeah, it was.
Yeah, bro. That's when I fell in love with boxing, bro. Right there. So like after I went to that fight, I just knew, like I said, yo, there's something here. But with the content and stuff, that's all fairly new for me. That was a venture I was thinking about for a long time, and now I'm just like I'm here. I gotta put all gas, no brakes. I'm into the media now. Connecting with guys like yourself, Rob and Cam. So, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Hey, can y'all
Facts,
hear
facts.
me?
Rob, yeah, we can hear you, Rob. You probably won't be able to
I can see you
see us
too,
though. I
Rob.
can
I know
see
you
I
can't
can
see
see
me.
you.
You
Okay,
can't see
It's
I
me.
can't see
weird
y'all.
because my boy, because I'm weird when I go live on Facebook. It's like the fourth person may not be able to see the other three on there for some reason. It's
Okay.
weird as hell. Now I know that. I'm glad I know that now because now I know that for later. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can hear you
Okay.
though. You good, man?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, go ahead. What
Okay,
you think?
man.
What you think about the TKO situation and everything, man?
Bro, look, at the onset, and I'm gonna educate my man to do because I'm not coming at you from the left field, bro. It's just this.
Mhm.
First of all, when they came in, let me go back to the zone. When the zone first came into boxing, they
Yeah.
came in with this bravado, like we gonna take over, we gonna conquer America. First of all, you don't come into nobody's house without wiping your feet. You come in and you build connections, you build relationships. And Eddie Hearn tricked
Yeah.
off all their money, and I forget that billionaire name. He ended up
Mm.
walking away because he was giving Eddie Hearn boatloads of money, and they weren't seeing no profits on their
Mm.
return. If you look at Oscar De La Hoya's contract with Canelo, 11
Yeah.
fights, $365 million. After like that
Mm-hmm.
fourth fight with Kovalev, they started to say, hold on, man, hold on. We ain't getting no profits. So we gonna start withholding money, even though contractually they couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They was like, we not seeing no investment, so we gonna pick your next fighter. And that's when he fought Triple G and they got a little bit of return. The same business thing is going on here. They came in with
Mm.
this bravado. We're going to come in and taking over boxing. We're going to do this and that. And they realized, oh, shoot, we ain't got no fighters, like Cam J
Mm.
said.
Yeah.
So what they did, they got contracts with Eddie Hearn and them, and like they said, they was trying to just wait out these big name guys to come in and grab them, and then once you grab the big names, you said, oh, the big names is over there. Now the little names is looking over there, and everybody coming over.
Mm.
But they came in with the same bravado, bro. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. We gonna do this and we gonna do that. And I'm gonna give you a quote because I read some articles from BBC's Tim Smith. It was on
Yeah.
Boxing Scene. He said, and I quote, "We have seen everybody come in, BLK Prime, this other company. We seen people come in with their war chest, and all we do is sit back and watch. And this is not going to last long." That was his direct quote about
Mm.
TKO and Saudis. And look what's happening. He
Mm.
was not that far off. I seen it coming. When you just start trying to throw boatloads of money around, bro, without really no business plan, without
Yeah.
nothing really set in stone, you just throwing caution to the wind. And when
Okay.
you got to use somebody else's fighters, you got to use somebody else's stuff to get in. Yeah, he did. Eddie Hearn did. Dude, they could have put on a lot of these fights without the Saudis' money, but they chose not to because they didn't want to trick off their money. You know what I'm saying? Once the
Right.
zone money dried
Smart.
up,
Yeah.
uh, once
Yeah,
the
they,
zone
they
money
just,
dried up, they were like,
bro, they just
Smart.
exactly. They're using turkey money just to fund their events, bro. Like I've been telling everybody for the longest time, bro. And now that Turkey's starting his own shit, and he's saying, "Fuck y'all." I'm doing this. Y'all better have y'all shit in order in these 16 months. Now it's
He
different.
falling. He
Now
falling
they
now, bro.
now they rushing. They rushing to keep their ducks in a row. They trying to make sure they keep guys re-signed up and everything because Turkey is coming for their top fighters. He's
Okay.
coming for
Bro,
all
look,
of those guys.
you
Okay.
said
Well,
Like,
let
and
me
he's
ask
trying
you
to
this
bring
Jay-Z.
them
too.
over there.
Bro,
Okay.
you said
Let me,
I mean,
Jay-Z,
that makes
Cam.
sense. Yo, no, I appreciate that too, Rob. I don't feel like you came from me out left field in any way. Shit, I felt like you just broke it down.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
like
Fact,
my man
man.
that's
said,
perfect
he go
Shit.
deep
breakdown.
at it in boxing, bro.
Perfect
Even last one,
breakdown. He
he
had to
had
go back in
almost
history with it. Was I'm
Right?
like,
Nigga said, hold on. He said, hold on. He closed his eyes and said, hold on, I got a direct quote. Bow. I said, hold on, I fuck with you,
that's
Rob. Go ahead,
my
spit it.
dog,
bro.
man. That's my dog. Me and Robbie seeing things the same, but like,
Y'all on
he
it,
seeing
twin.
it.
I respect it. I
Bro,
respect it.
it's
I'm,
all
a, I'm
yeah,
good,
a,
man.
Rob,
like
Like
I
he
said, I
said,
know I'm gonna
he's
be
in the
learning a
business.
lot, bro, from you guys, bro. Especially because like I'm only 24, turning 25
Yeah.
in August,
okay,
bro.
okay.
I know I'm gonna learn a lot from you guys, bro. Like I said, I'm fairly new to the sport, fairly new to the media side and everything. That's why I'm not really rushing to, just put shit out there. Just
Hey, dude,
saying
yeah,
shit.
man.
You know what I'm
Dude,
saying? Because that's what people
even
be
though I
doing.
work,
And
even though I work during the week, like, cause I work for FedEx, dude, all I do is sit back and watch and collect information on the underground.
yep.
If you go look, like these main guys, boxing scene, some may hit sometimes. ESPN don't really do it no more. They don't report on this big stuff. They give y'all the fluff. You got to go to
Yeah.
the
Right.
hardcore. I follow like a lot of guys, man, and they give me Bronx Boxing, Eugene, Cam J, YSM Media. They give you the nuts and bolts of what's going on. They throw it out. Oh, Tank want to fight. He's scared to fight Shakur. But then you go look at this other thing what Shakur is saying and follow the timeline. Like, bro, you ain't mapping. You ain't adding up. You know he got a fight coming up in August. You got a fight coming up. When he done with this fight, you done with your fight. Y'all ain't fighting the rest of the year. After that, y'all can talk. Right now, he just throwing fluff out there, bro. You just got to follow these timelines, man.
Right.
Top Rank is still here. Main events still here. Golden Boy, as feeble as they are, still here. These are the guys that put their heart and soul and blood into boxing, bro. They put
Right.
their dues in. PBC been trying to go out of business for 10 years, according to Rick Glazer, and they still here, bro.
Hello.
Talk your shit,
Hello.
Rob. Talk your shit, Rob.
Bingo.
20
Yo, Rob,
All
Hey, I
Rob's
got
right.
in the chat.
I got a
No,
question for
Yo,
Rob and
no.
Cam.
Cam.
Go ahead.
Yo,
Go ahead.
Cam,
Go ahead.
Rob's in the chat.
Hey, Rob,
What's
Cam,
up?
Yeah.
I
No,
got a
no, no.
question
He
for
ain't in
you
the
guys.
chat.
I know y'all
I
deep into
gotta, I gotta add my boy
the
Rob. I don't
business.
think I got you, Rob. I don't think I ever seen you, Rob. I ain't gonna hold
He
you,
was
twin.
in there. He was in the chat, but then he was getting all the notifications and stuff in there. And so I told him I'm gonna add him back in there. He just gotta mute it and just pop in there here and there. Just
Yeah,
mute the chat so you won't get all the notifications.
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. 'Cause I be dropping packages trying to drop in and out. I'll be like, dang, I gotta get back to this route right quick. Y'all, cause y'all be dropping
I
it, man.
know.
Yo, y'all was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
chocolate.
Go ahead, Bing.
All right, so this is my question for Rob and Cam, because I know y'all got a niche for the business side of boxing.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the turkey out of shape, people being in the red as far as finances and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But if you could find anything positive out of all that, do you think it was a good thing in the sense that Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren now is partnering up and they're starting to do the zone matchroom type thing, you know what I'm saying? The Queensberry, the zone thing, you feel me?
Go ahead, Cam. You go first, man.
I now this is the thing. It's I say with everything with business and stuff, like you got pros and cons to everybody, and with certain business. And I say in particular with like with Turkey, he has done some good things in boxing for us, like making some fights happen that some of these promoters should have been doing on their own behalf. You know what I mean? And Turkey he came behind and swept up and to put some things together. But the thing with Turkey is he's putting on the fights that he particularly wants. It's not the fans. It's what he particularly wants because Turkey is a true fan of boxing. He is a fan, but it's like he's a it's like you a kid when you got a rich family and they give you money to spend all the money you want on anything that you want to do. You know what I mean? That's like what the Saudis is doing with Turkey. But I can see a lot of good with stuff with Turkey for us, like you said, being with him mending some of the relationships with some of these promoters. Because I will say some of the relationships with PBC, Golden Boy, Matchroom, Queensberry, like a lot of these guys are working together a little bit more than they have in the past. And I will say that Turkey has know, put a little rift into that and really help with that. I will say that as far as that.
All right, I'm gonna say this, man. He came and gave Box a shot in the arm. But, and I'm gonna say this, when they go out of business, when Turkey and them go out of business, because again, it's heading that way, we are really going to see the true authenticity of these relationships. Money make anybody come together for a hot second, but
Mm.
let's see when he ain't funding fights no more. When we ain't got Turkey money, are we still gonna be friends? Or are we gonna go back to doing this? Right now, it's cool. Everything's cool. It's all good just a week ago. Let's see if it continues when he goes out of business. If all four of these entities continue to work together, that's my standing right. Like right now, it's cool, but let's see what happens when it's all said and done.
Okay.
When the well runs dry. I
Facts, man. So we gonna go to the next topic, man. All right, so in news and big news that we seen the other day, man. Of course, Teofimo Lopez, he been doing a lot of racist remarks and everything, and
I
apparently
just caught that.
Turkey came out the other day during the press conference, and he was saying that he wanted to try to get Teofimo Lopez and Boost Ennis to fight each other, but another guy came out last night and said they won't smoke, man. Devin Haney called out Teofimo Lopez last night, man. He said that he wanted to end all of this racist shit and everything, and he wants to, get it cracking with Teofimo Lopez at 147. Interesting. So, what do y'all think about Devin Haney calling out Teofimo Lopez, even with the process of him possibly fighting a rematch with Ryan Garcia next? Because that's what Turkey said in the press conference as well, that he making that fight happen next. So, what y'all
I
think
mean,
about that?
that's typical Devin Haney, in my opinion. Takes tough fights. He does. So I don't think it's cap or anything of him calling out Tio or anything like that. I see Tio trying to get back on the right track though. Because he kind of been ducking since his Ortiz struggle with tough. He hasn't really been in real tough fights since his Ortiz struggle, in my opinion. I feel like he's trying to get back on the right track and go in that direction. I think that'll be a good fight, but I see Tio. And Tio right now, he look real sharp. But if they fighting at 147, we just got to see what they both really look like. Because Devin's coming off that lackluster performance against Jose Ramirez. Everybody know that. So we really just got to see more from him. Tio looked real good against Arnold Barboza, but you could just see the athleticism to no
That shit
athleticism.
was
God
different.
damn, that shit. It was almost like God damn, he couldn't touch him if he couldn't touch the water if he put his finger through it like this. I promise you, this shit was
Facts.
ridiculous. I said, but I don't know. I feel like will this fight actually happen, or is this just X hype? You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
a lot of that be going on too.
Go ahead with it, Rob.
Uh, as far as the conference, man, I just kind of caught up on that this weekend.
Yeah.
It's kind of 50-50 for me, man. It's like, yo, he been out of action for a while. He was fighting with Top Rank trying to get out his contract, and I think now he's just trying to get back in the mix of everything. I don't think Haney's thing was capped. Like, I agree with Doobie Boxman. I don't think it was capped. He will go out there because Haney needs as many big fights as he can right now, man. 147, no, I have to see Teo there first. If he just try to make that leap, he got to get consistent for me, man. He's been inconsistent with a lot of stuff. The comments, man, really didn't bother me. Bro, I've seen worse in boxing before. But as far as the fight go, I think it can be put together. If it's Turkey's funding it, first of all, so yeah, if that's what he wants, I think it'll definitely happen.
Yeah, that'll be a big fight. And
like,
shit, we didn't even see Devin at 147 yet either.
Hey, right. But see, I don't think it'll happen right
I
away.
got
There's a
a lot to
building.
talk about.
I think that they'll build it up maybe for like, what's this, May? Maybe till end of the year, first quarter next year, if that's even feasible. But like not right now. I don't see it happening this year.
Yeah, not this year. Especially because Dev fighting Ryan in October too.
Right. Oh, it's already set?
They locking it in Saudi Arabia for October from what I'm hearing from what Turkey's saying. What you think about it, Bean?
Man, well, back to what Rob and what originally was said by Doobie. Yeah, Doobie on point. Like you said, Henny, he don't really cap, you know what I'm saying? Even though we can be kind of critics of some of his performances, or some of the contradictions or whatever that might come through him and his dad, Bill Haney, ultimately, he's going to fight pretty much anybody. I feel like he
That's
got a throwback mentality as far as fighting everybody, but
yeah,
he really doesn't always be consistent in his performances. You know what I mean? Like his performance with Ramirez, man, he should have been looking more like he did, even though he lost. Well, even though it was a tight fight with Loma, I'll say it that way because he won. But I kind of looked at it again and felt like Loma could have edged it or whatever. But just seeing him at a peak performance like that, or how he did Cambosis, that's the type of Haney we need to see. We don't need to be seeing this guy that's running too much. You know what I mean? He needs to let his hands go like he did with Cambosis and pretty much keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? And translate it to his next fight, because if he fights Ryan Garcia and he's backpedaling and doing like he did with Ramirez, it's going to be a boring fight, man.
Yeah.
yeah. And it's the fact that he trained for that. Like, think about how he didn't even break a sweat. So, you know, he trained to do that. And Bill even came out and said, you know, this is what they trained to do. So, and you seen it, 12 rounds, and he ain't, you know how much his legs, I know his legs was burning at the end of that damn fight. That boy
Man,
ain't
dude,
stopped moving from the belt. God damn.
dude,
You know, and you know, but he, you know, one thing I do give him credit though is he did stay disciplined. But you just took away everything else you had. He ain't even let his jab go as much as he typically do and stuff like that. So I'm like, come on, Haney, stay disciplined, but come on, we got to get you busier for sure.
I think he was just trying to play it safe because he knew he had the Garcia fight like lined up, man. But like,
True, I agree.
even dude, you look out the boxing history, man. It's two things. You could be the most skilled fighter in the world, bro. You could have it all. Footwork,
Yeah,
defense, head speed, but you gotta be able to put butts in seats, man. You gotta be able to mix the two. Look at Mayweather, man. They call his style quote unquote boring, but they gotta realize when he touched 47, his hands got brittle, you know what I'm saying? But he was still able to bring people to the table. That was Larry Holmes' thing, man. He went talk to the media, so he was getting paid. He's a known fighter, but he wasn't bringing, like, he didn't cross over until he fought Jerry Cooney, man. And Cooney was
right.
getting more rep than him.
Right.
And that's what these guys are doing, man. Like, Shakur is a highly skilled fighter. I respect his skill set, bro. But you ain't putting butts in seats, and they just overpaying you. And that's a lot of these guys' problem. It's not the fact that they running or being boring, or they kind of are. The last fight was boring, but you got to be able to entertain to a certain point of making people want to come see your fights. And that's really not
Right.
happening with Haney and Shakur. Teo, and that's why Teo's talking so much. It's like, dude, even if you talk negative, any negative or positive is news to you, bringing attention to you. I'm saying that. So he's got that point down. Now he just got to get in the ring.
I want to use
And
the
that's
quote
Shakur and Haney's problem, bro. They got to be able to let their hands go. And, you know, I mean, you ain't got all the time, man, but when you got a guy, if you're a rated 10 and you getting a guy with a ring that's a 2, get him out of there like you're supposed to. Don't sit there and play with this guy. Show him that you are not supposed to be in the ring with me. That's what Tommy Hearns them did, man. You weren't supposed to be in the ring with them guys. They got you out of there.
Exactly. Well, Rob, it's like your old statement, man, when it comes to Shakur. But I gotta use your quote. You can't attract flies to a rib roast.
That was a good one.
That was good.
Bro.
That was fire. That was fire. JC
Man,
would salute my boy JC, man.
Yes, sir. Salute,
Let
man.
me, I gotta say something about it, man. All right, man. You already know how I be feeling about certain shit with this type of things with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. I think the call out is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The reason why it's bullshit is the reason why, because, dude, Turkey already said that he's putting on the fight with Ryan Garcia. No, you not getting away from this rematch, Devin. I ain't going for it. No, I see the play.
Whoa,
You had the chance to fight Teofimo.
whoa.
You had, you gonna listen here. Hold on. Top Rank offered Devin Haney to fight Teofimo Lopez on pay-per-view a few months ago. And this man, Devin, didn't want to fight Teofimo Lopez due to the fact that they had to sell pay-per-view because that was going to be their first pay-per-view. And Teofimo Lopez, that would have been his first pay-per-view. Would have been Devin's, third? I think it's third pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I think his first two was with Lomachenko and Regis Prograis. When we this fourth, Lomachenko, Regis Prograis, and Ryan Garcia. So Devin had the opportunity where he could have probably took the pay-per-view fight main event with Teofimo Lopez on Top Rank, but he didn't want to do it because they didn't want to deal with being the person to have to sell the event. And what they do, they went over to Turkey Out of Sheik to where they're going to get a guaranteed bag so they won't have to sell the event. You got a lot of these fighters out here that's going to Turkey Out of Sheik in particular so they won't have to sell and help sell the fight, uphold with selling the fight. And that's the thing that pretty much Devin Haney they didn't want to do. But my thing is, Devin and Teofimo Lopez, they was acting all friendly and shit. You know what I mean? Up at the whole build up, up until May 2nd and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Again, they had a few little words and stuff, but why does it take him now with Teofimo Lopez, being a little bit more, dramatic as far as his racist shit, the last week, week or two? Why is it taking him now to talk about it when Teo been doing this shit for like 3-4 years? You know what I mean? And the Haney's been friendly as hell with the Lopez.
3-4 years?
Yes. This man, Teofimo Lopez, you can go back and look at it. About 3-4 years ago, he was the one that was making comments about black fighters, saying that black fighters is getting special treatment and everything, and saying that he don't get anything, and that the corporate guys in boxing, they support the black fighters more than the Spanish and the white fighters, which was wild as fuck. He got a lot of backlash over that. You know what I mean? So Tio's been doing this racist shit for years. You know what I mean? He's just doing it a little bit more erratic to get more attention now because nobody don't give a fuck about Teofimo Lopez like that for real. You know what I mean? They don't. They don't care. But so I'm just looking at it in general. Why does it take Devin Haney for him to why is Devin Haney calling this man out and want to be on him about racist shit now when he been doing it in front of Devin Haney's face for the last 3-4 years? Yeah, I mean, let you want to fight Teofimo because you want to fight him and you want to just get that shit out the way and pack him up. Don't let it be because he racist when he been doing the same shit for 3-4 years and you ain't said shit about it up until now. That's my problem with it.
Well, I thought the quote was he said he's just tired of racist ass Teofimo and now he want to put the fight on. That's what he said. So I don't think.
Yeah. And I don't like the call out. Yeah, I don't like
he was doing
the call out.
And if you want to fight him now, if you want to fight him now. Shit, it ain't a big deal.
I don't like the call out now with this time. I don't like the timing of the call out currently right now because we know you supposed to fight Ryan Garcia in this rematch.
So, but
I don't want to see Devin fight. I don't want to see Devin fight nobody else but Ryan Garcia.
It's gonna happen this year. We already said that. We said we don't think it's gonna happen this year, but we said we think it could happen the quarter next year, something like that. Which is why is that not doable? Why do you think that's not possible?
I mean, you could say because the thing is Devin Haney, they bro, y'all be seeing some of the shit I be seeing from these guys, man. I be seeing the. Like, bro, these guys, I've been cooking them for the longest, man. These guys are not who y'all think they are. They not. They not, bro. I'm being real. They not, bro. These guys
I don't even know what that means.
These guys is not like that, bro. Devin Haney career, he ain't fought. Like, yes, he's willing to fight, guys. But he picks and chooses wisely who he fights too. You know what I'm saying? Regis Prograis. You know what I'm saying? He could have fought. Why didn't Devin Haney stay at 135 so he could fight Tank when Tank was in jail?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Questions like shit like that. You feel me? Like, like you know what I'm saying? Tank. Like that man Devin Haney only defended undisputed twice against Kambosos in the second fight and once against Lomachenko. Then he ran his ass to 140 when he knew Shakur and Tank was on his ass. They own his ass. They want to fight. And his ass ran to 140 quick to fight Regis Prograis.
And they said, and they kept using the fact that he couldn't make 135 no more as the main reason why they went up. Like,
right. That's the talking point. That's their talking point for it. But if that's the case, He moved up to 140. He only fights 2 fights at 140. He was getting butt naked to make 140. And then look at him now.
But
He
y'all
just
know
fought
that
Jose
nigga. Hey,
Ramirez.
but y'all know
He
that
just
nigga
fought
was.
Jose Ramirez at 144. Just fought him at 144.
Mm-hmm.
When he was already said that he was moving up to fight at 147 and he was campaigning at 147. But hold
Right.
up. He had a whole interview with Ariel Hawani too, right after the Ryan fight, saying that he ain't fighting at no weight classes. He fighting at whatever weight he want to fight at. And what he do against Jose Ramirez? Fought at a fucking catch weight, at a weight that he wanted to fight at.
Mm.
Gotta read the room with these guys, man. These guys be doing a lot of lies and contradictions, man. A
Hey,
lot of lies.
Hey,
dude, and they keep saying Tank name
hey,
because Tank.
hopefully they fight. That's all I look at. Hey, hopefully
My,
these boys get in the damn ring. Get in the
Facts.
motherfucking
My
ring.
thing is, I don't mind judging fighting T.O. I just not next. Don't
Yeah,
push
no,
for that
no,
fight
I don't
next.
think it.
The Hanging
I
fans,
didn't
I don't
know.
want
I didn't know that was.
fans trying to
I didn't know
push
he was
for them to
talking
fight
next. I don't
Teofimo
think
right
he's
now.
fighting him next. We know he's not fighting him next. But yeah, no, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think he's fighting him next.
like if you a Haney fan, you should be pushing for him to fight Ryan Garcia right now. Like I'm a Tank
That fight better.
fan, I'm pushing for Tank to fight Lamar Roach in his rematch because he got to get that back. He got to get that back.
I'm a
Now, if I'm
Boston
a Devin
fan.
Haney fan, you got to fight Ryan Garcia. We got to see that. We got
I'm
to
a
see it.
Boston fan. Put him in the ring.
Hey,
I want to see them
hey,
all.
dude, that fight is hot right now, and especially with Garcia losing to Rolly like that, he
Mm-hmm.
better get in the ring and do that fight right away, man. Because nobody, even I didn't see that one coming.
Y'all have, I
Mhm.
got. I don't know why I did.
I didn't,
Right.
man. In fact,
I did.
Mark was on it.
Shit.
I was like, yo, he picked against it, man. But you got like my man Cam J said, you just got to follow the timeline with a lot of these guys, man. They'll
Mm-hmm.
say something one week, then say something else to the other,
That's
and the fact that
facts.
Shakur is still, like my man said, dude, Shakur is still fighting. You went and allowed yourself for Turkey to get paid. You still fighting on undercards. What's wrong with you, bro? You ain't no headliner. You couldn't even put your name on the top piece of paper. Get out of here, bro.
All right, man. So let's get into the next topic, man. All right, so I seen this interview the other day with Camaro Moden, man, the young high prospect that's under Floyd Mayweather on the TMT, and he was mentioning about fighting the other prospects that's out right now, the new guys. Mentioning that he would love to fight Abdullah Mason and Kid Austin and Emiliano Vargas and all of those guys that's in around his era as far as the new generation, man. And I found that very interesting because he was saying that those fights is going to happen in the future, and we're going to push for those fights. So just thinking like now that we got a lot of guys that's vets, that a lot of guys is on the tail end of their careers right now currently. We gotta definitely tap into these new prospects and these new guys that's coming up because they're gonna be the future coming up in boxing for sure. And I just found it real interesting with Camille Moden talking about fighting these other guys, and specifically Abdullah Mason. Like Camille Moden and Abdullah Mason will be a crazy fight, and that's a super fight in the making for the future, man. So what y'all think about Camille Moden with these topics, as far as him saying that he's going to possibly want to fight the future prospects as well in the future.
He got
Okay,
some
I
speed. He got some speed. He got some swagger. But I still see Carmel Moulton right now as green, in my opinion. He ain't fucking with him. He ain't fucking with Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? That's not. I just think Mason's just a top. He's a killer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a
Ohio.
little sugar. Now, I'm not talking about sugar in his tank. He got that sugar in him, like Sugar Ray's and one of them. I see it. He's a special talent, man. And the more they keep working with him, his heart, his grit, you seen it. Dropped twice, got up, finished the guy. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, when he got dropped the first time, he dropped the nigga so crazy the first time. I'm like, goddamn, I don't know if he getting up from that shit. When he got up and he put a beating on him some more. So that Abdullah Mason, he got something special, and he's a humble kid. He got champion written all on him. I see it. He's definitely a future champion, in my opinion. He's the top out of those guys. Floyd Schofield, come on, we just got to see some more of him. He just, he got dropped in the last fight, missed the chair. Missed the chair, missed the stool in the corner. We got to see more. We ain't seen nothing since. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to fight Shakur. You got sick. I'm not gonna sit here and say any speculation for what I think happened or what everybody else think happened or whatever. You got sick. That was what was said. And shit, we need to get you back in the ring. You ain't been back in the ring. You ain't fought. When was his last fight? October of last year? You know what I'm saying? Like, come
It's been
on,
since
man.
last year, with Kid Austin.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been some time. Now you're gonna have ring rust. You too young to be having that. You ain't fucking Tank's age and them all them seasoned fighters. Like, you're not that seasoned, brother. You need to get in the fucking ring. You need to fight. I know he got a fight coming up, but you're gonna have to. You should be one of the. You so young. You should be having a fight 4 weeks after that, and 4 weeks after that. You see how Mason's fighting. So
yeah, they keeping him active.
I ain't really impressed with Floyd Schofield. I love his skill set though, of what he could bring, but I'm not seeing nothing really growing from that kid right now.
I got an announcement. I got an announcement with Kid Austin real quick too. By the way, right now, Kid Austin is in the works right now to fight on the undercard for Jake Paul and Julio Chavez Jr. for June 28th. He's going to be possibly fighting Tevin Farmer.
I
So
saw
I'm
that.
gonna let them fight right there.
No,
Yeah, my boy Dan in the boxing man. He reported that on Twitter a little bit earlier this morning.
You don't got volume like a Zepeda. You don't got power like a Moritalia. So I think Tevin Farmer could possibly fuck around and really upset that motherfucker.
Good. I'm the opposite. I think Kid Austin is green. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the opposite. I think Kid Austin is green. Camille Moden, I've been watching this kid over the past 3 years. Camille Moden and Abdullah Mason, they are the two best prospects out of all of these guys with Kid Austin and Emiliano Vargas and all of them. They the two best ones to me, in my opinion. Like, Camille Moden just got to tighten up that defense, but his offense is fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, he explosive, fast, powerful. Like, Camille Moden he's the real deal. I just think he's so young. He got to continue to fight and learn. Like, continue to fight and learn. And you know what I'm saying? And, just build. Like Abdullah Mason, he's building right now. Abdullah Mason, he about to be in championship contention now. Going into this next year, where he gonna be challenging for a title coming up soon. You know what I mean? I love this prospect.
But Abdullah, yeah, they just keep him active, man. This is one thing I will give Top Rank. As much as I hate them sometimes, they know how to build fighters. Hate them or love them. They built a great deal of them, man. So keep that kid active, man. Keep that kid in the ring. Barbell said, like, I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago, he got like 3 broadcasting deals. So he should be able to rotate these guys, like, you know what I'm saying, in and out of the ring quite frequently. But I have to see Moden. I haven't seen him. I can't even see a lot of myself.
Yeah, I definitely like Camille Moten. I'm gonna do some more, research on him more deep. But from what I've seen, like you said, he got the power, pretty nice footwork. You know what I'm saying? And he just needs to tighten up on the defense, like you said, man, for sure. Abdullah Mason, like Doobie said, he's the real deal. He's coming up. He's stepping up very good. They're you know what I'm saying? They're giving him the proper. They're not rushing him, but they're giving him like it's perfect. They ain't rushing him, but they ain't slow walking him either. It's like they got him right in that sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? The way they're moving him. Keyshawn Davis, the same thing. You know what I mean? I like these guys, man, over there. That's how Franco whatnot, man. And but at the same time, like you said with Camille Moten, him calling him out, or not calling him out, but him saying that a future fight with them, I like that, man. I like that. I like their ambition, man. I gotta respect ambition like that, man. Anybody, I'm 45 years old, so anybody that's like young like him, calling out somebody like on that level, man, I gotta respect that, man.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Eventually you want to be that guy in the future. So you seeing yourself filling in some bigger shoes in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Facts, bro. Yeah, facts. I'm along with you, man. I love the fact that he's looking forward to fighting those guys in the future because they are the future of boxing, man. They are. They it. These guys is in their early 20s. Shit. Abdullah, I think I think Carmel is 19. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just turned 19. So these guys is young, man. So we definitely gonna get some good fights out of these guys in the future, man. And looking forward to see how they careers blossom, especially this year and going into next year, man. And it goes on to the next topic, man, which is just a little update right here, real quick about the heavyweights. Philip Herkovic, man, and Frank Sanchez. They had a purse bid set this week, but they extended the purse bid for May 22nd for this next week. So they're trying to lock this fight in with Herkovic and Sanchez. And it's going to be a big heavyweight fight. It's going to be an IBF title eliminator, too. So the winner of this fight will possibly get the winner of Usyk and Dubois, possibly, with this being an IBF title eliminator. And you already know the IBF, how it is about ordering them fights, man. They be ordering them fights quick as hell. So
Bruh.
they tough on the orders, man. They real tough. They be trying to they will strip you if you ain't defending that strap, man. So what y'all think
And
about
they
this
the
with
most consistent
Herkovic and
out there.
Sanchez?
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. So look, let me say this, man. Philip Herkovic and Frank Sanchez, man. It's like you got two guys that you don't know what version of them you're going to get.
All right,
You know what I mean?
that's
The best
right
I
down the
seen
middle.
Frank Sanchez was against F.A. Ajagba. He was slick. He was at the perfect fighting weight. He was, his mobility was on point. His ring IQ. He wasn't letting F.A. load up them power punches and land them. You know what I mean? He was slick. And that's how he beat him. But then when he came back, whoever he fought after that, he looked like he had gained weight. He wasn't the proper fighting weight. He was looking more lethargic, like he was getting tired. You know what I mean? From carrying, like he wasn't conditioned right or whatever. So I was like, these guys don't be consistent. You know what I mean? They're not fighting enough. They're not staying active enough. They're not conditioning themselves enough. It's just so many things. And then like Philip Herkovic, yeah, he got a good jab. He got decent power. But I mean, you're up and down. Daniel Dubois schooled you. You know what I'm saying? And stopped him. Um, and then the last fight with Joe Joyce, I mean, come on, he didn't look all that great, in his win against Joe Joyce. So I think it's a perfect fight, actually, because they both been inconsistent. So it'll be a
Right.
good fight to see.
Man, Herkovic needs to be, like you said, consistent, dude. I was never sold on him in the first place. So when he got beat, I wasn't even really shocked, man. He's too robotic for me, man. And I know a lot of guys put on a lot of weight when they're in the heavyweights, man. But like, you got to come into the ring in a tone that you're gonna be nice and fit in. And if he lose this fight, dude, he gonna drop way down the ladder. Like, it's gonna be a minute for he even get back up there because he was in title contention for a minute. Then he got beat down. So he just got to be consistent with it, man. Frank Sanchez, I haven't seen him. I didn't see his last fight, but this is going to make or break both of their careers, especially
Facts.
Herkovic. It's not the fact that he
Facts.
lost; it's how he lost.
Facts.
Climb
Facts.
that ladder, bro. Get back up
Doobie,
there.
you on mute, Doobie. They won't let you get if you can't unmute it, come back in, and I'm gonna bring you back in. That's what I had to do. All right, there you go. All right. Yeah, I'm right along with you guys, man, as far as this fight, man. This fight, I think it suits both of these guys, and it's well needed from both of these guys. We got to see who the best guys out of these two guys for real, because both of them definitely, like y'all said, they both been inconsistent over their duration of their career over the last couple of years. And I mean, IBF title eliminator, it's a lot on the line, man, for these guys, man. Title shot for these guys as well, man. So definitely, I'm ready to. I'm definitely. This is gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a good one, man. I don't got no prediction on who's gonna win this fight right now. I think it's a real live 50-50 fight for real, honestly. What you think about it, dude?
I agree. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Like, I think Hergovic, he got some power, but Sanchez's footwork can frustrate him a bit because, he is a real technical guy. Other than that, I see it being a real close fight as well. It just depends on how these guys come in condition. Because even though Hrgovic won that last fight, man, did he look sloppy? Like he just looked like sluggish. Like he didn't look good to me. And I know it's the heavyweights and them the big boys and they ain't as quick or whatever the case may be. But goddamn, you can't be looking at him. He didn't look sharp at all, man. Like he just didn't look sharp to me. So. I had Joyce winning some rounds, and I'm like, it was closer than the judges had it, in my opinion. With that Joyce fight, I didn't have Hrgovic just sweeping him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In that fight, so like I said, I didn't watch too much of Frank Sanchez. I just kind of watched some highlights of him last night when I got the topics, and I saw he got some good footwork. He's real technical. One second.
Yeah, so salute to the wife, Mrs. CamJNetwork. La la. You know what I mean? And we can go ahead and get into we can get into the next topic, man, this is a topic that I'm real intrigued to hear y'all opinions and takes on this one right here, man. What do y'all think about this new era of boxing with these fighters protecting their O's? That's the
Go ahead,
yeah,
brother. I'm
Rob.
about to finish this top.
That's like Bean. You can go ahead. Go ahead and start it off, Bean.
Okay. I'll just piggyback off a live I did not too long ago because I had seen a statement where John Fury, the dad of Tyson Fury, and he was like, AJ and my son don't need to fight any longer. They should have fought when they were both undefeated. So that always sticks out, undefeated. You got too many people projecting and pushing that narrative that undefeated is going to bring the best fights. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very rare that that's going to happen. If you fight an undefeated fighter, that's because you're like a Canelo and you're picking an up-and-coming green Berlanga. You're picking an up-and-green Mugia. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't even balance out to be a great fight.
Right.
If anything, you want the people that got losses because they're battle tested. I want the fact that AJ's been battle tested twice to lose from Usyk twice in a decision. The fact that AJ was knocked out by Dubois, a prime 27-year-old young bull, and then he was TKO'd by Andrew Ruiz. So that shows the levels of what he's been going through for him to be where he is right now. Then you got Tyson Fury, dropped 4 times by Deontay Wilder, gets up. He gets beat twice by Usyk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the perfect fight to happen. They both from the UK. It'll do huge over there at Wembley. You know what I'm saying? Or wherever. It'll be a good fight to see for the real boxing lovers. AJ versus Fury. And then even Wilder. Wilder versus AJ. That'll still be a fight that can happen. If Wilder come out nice against Herndon and lets his hand go, let that right hand bomb go, and gets Herndon up out of there, man, we can make AJ versus Wilder early next year.
Facts.
I think
bro.
they try to blame Mayweather for it, man. I don't particularly agree with that. He used it as a marketing tool, but he fought more champions and more top contenders, man, than anybody in the history of boxing. It's a marketing. They're trying to use it as a marketing tool, but I think they're just overdoing it. Like my man said, like Eugene said, the battle test guy, man, you got 2 or 3 losses. You know, some people look at that as, oh, you ran down and you rusty, man. Nah, dude, that means you just been in a lot of hard fights. Like what my favorite fighters, dude. He never won a title. Quick Tillis was like 3 title shots, man, and he was that guy, like he was that next level guy if he was trying to go up. When Tyson fought him, you know what I'm saying, he was battle tested, and he fought Holyfield, and he tested Holyfield when he got up there. These guys these days, man, I think they're really trying to do it, and I think it's more from the promoters because look, when you got an up and coming guy, you want to, like I said, you don't want to rush him, but you want to put him in the ring and testing. And it's like, oh shoot, okay, I got this one champion in my stable while I'm building these guys. If I put this one guy in the ring and I lose him, it's gonna be hard for me to get back to the top. So I'm withholding for a while, and we're gonna spit, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna be in the media. But I think it really comes down to the promoters doing it, not necessarily the fighters. Like I said, if you got a stable of champions, like what's the name? What's that dude named Heyman? He had 154 and 147 locked up. So he can toss a guy out there like that. He can toss another guy out there. Tyree had the lightweight division on locks for years. So you can toss one guy out there. You can sacrifice one guy. But if you ain't got nothing, man, you get that one champion like Canelo, like Golden Boy had Canelo. Like, yo, yeah, we picking this guy. We picking this guy. We picking this guy. We know we can beat him because I want to preserve him. The younger guys, man, they gotta understand this is their careers. They gotta want to get in that fight, and ain't no shame in losing, bro. Every great fighters have lost, man. Just get in the ring and do what you got to do. Prepare, and if you know you get in the ring and you prepare and you lose, go home and you can go home and sleep at night. Say, look, I gave it all I got. I just came up short. And if anything, what I've learned, if you put on a hell of a performance and you lose, bro, they might put you back in another title shot, or even on an undercard for a title shot.
Facts. Facts. Bro, I'm right along with y'all, man. Like the new era of boxing with these guys, a lot of these guys, they're, they, of course, like you said, Floyd Mayweather, him being the undefeated fighter, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be undefeated and want to get the big money fights and, et cetera and everything. But you got to go through an obstacle to get that going. You know what I mean? And the obstacle is, you got to take some of the fights that, that are tough fights. I mean, you got to fight your contemporaries. I mean, if you got guys that, the guys that attach their name to like Tank Davis, those guys need to make moves on trying to fight Tank Davis. Shit, everybody, if you want to fight with Canelo, everybody's going straight to Canelo to get the fight, wherever platform he on. Like they accepting whatever he offer and everything. They taking what he, they taking everything Canelo offer and they going straight to Canelo for the fight. And Tank Davis with him, his contemporaries, they're not doing the same. Like his contemporaries is pretty much, they trying to put roadblocks in between the fight. Fuck with people that don't mess with Tank Davis and stuff and everything. And then they calling him out from afar and everything. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But then, just in particular with these guys, with this era, everybody, these, like, back then, with, Sugar Ray Leonard and, Hearns and Hagler, them guys of that era, they didn't care about losses. After they lost, they was ready to get back in the ring and fight right away. You know what I mean? Like, that made them more hungry to get back in there and and avenge they lost. You know what I mean? Like, in this era, it's sad. It's sad to say, but this era is just nothing like that era at all. Like you got some fighters that had some of that old school mentality as far as getting it back in blood and and avenging losses. But this era, they're scared to lose their O's. You know what I'm saying? Because they scared of the feedback they're gonna get from the fans. You know what I'm saying? Social media about these losses and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is like, I don't even think Earl Spence would know the way he lost the blood and all the backlash he done got and scrutiny and everything on his name. I don't think Earl really cared about what these fans say for real, because he didn't take time in his day to go back and clap back at fans for talking shit about him losing to Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? But you see guys like Devin Haney was going there clapping at all these guys, fans and everything every day, when they criticize him. You know what I mean? Like this era of boxing right here, some of these guys don't have tough skin. They're not as tough as the old school era that that we're talking about with the Hearns, the Haglers, the Leonards, the Tysons. You know what I'm saying? All of those guys. You know what I mean? The heavyweight division was the glamour division back then, and it's not the glamour division anymore. You know what I mean? And it's just so much that changed in boxing with, a lot of these guys, even them protecting their O's, it's translating to the fights to where they're fighting in actual fights to protect their O's now. You know what I'm saying? Running around the ring, no all defense, no offense. Now you seeing that translate to these guys now as well. You know what I mean? And it's just a real sickening thing to see with this era because I even throw Tank in there with his contemporary. Tank got to be a more initiative to make these fights happen too. You know what I'm saying? I want Tank to pop out and be like, hey man, Shakur, you next on the menu. After I handle Lamont Roach, you gotta fight shit. I want to fight you next. You come over here to PBC so I can whoop your ass. I be wanting Tank to be on that type of timing, but he moved on a different type of timing though. And I gotta say it, I gotta criticize him. I want him to call some of these guys out. Like call some of these guys bluff. Send all these motherfuckers offers. And if they don't take the offers, call them out and say, I sent them the offer. They ain't take the offer. They scared. We moving on to the next. Expose these
Yeah,
guys. Because
yeah,
Tank Davis, he gets scrutinized every day for not fighting these guys, but he has tried to fight these guys over the past year, and these guys ain't stepping up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? It ain't his fault. He can't put a gun in these dudes' heads and make them fight.
exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
like Loma Chico.
Facts.
He made us last time. He wasn't
Facts.
gonna fight Tank.
Yeah, and
So
just this era, all these guys protecting their O's, bro. Like it, a loss is not going to end your career. I mean, you seen guys like Caleb Plant, like he got crazy. He got beat down by Canelo in that fight. Fought a good fight, got beat down, and he came back from it, and he done won his last 2, 3 fights since then. You know what I mean? So like, a loss doesn't define your career. Yeah,
facts.
had you lost defines it. Had you get back from that loss is what define your career. You know what I mean? That's what truly define your career. And I think that's like the more intriguing thing about Earl Spence right now. Everybody is eager to see Earl Spence come back because they want to see how he look after losing to Bud Crawford a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, real talk,
so,
man. Real talk.
so
Real
like I
talk.
said, Lord, like Miss Cam J said, Tank is a strategic fighter for sure. You're absolutely right. He needs to start being more aggressive and calling these guys bluff. Yes, they definitely do. Like that's one of my main things I criticize Tank on. I I I do like Tank when he don't be in interviews and don't talk so much because I think when these fighters be in so many interviews, you're going to say something that people don't like, most likely. You're going to say something that people don't like. But when you're doing interviews often, like a lot of these guys where they're doing 5, 10 interviews, like it leaves room for error in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? And you got guys like Tank. He's not going to do. You're not going to. You see Tank building up for a fight. He's going to probably do about 3 or 4 interviews. And if he do other interviews outside of them 3 or 4, them motherfuckers gonna be about 3, 5 minutes. You ain't gonna get shit. You ain't gonna get much out of them. So Tank is very strategic on his interviews too. Like he ain't gonna just do interviews with any and everybody. Like he be just strategic on what platforms he hit for his interviews and stuff. But these other guys, they doing multiple interviews and stuff, kind of promote themselves, but at the same time, they ain't even talking about what they got going on for real. They talking about Tank, and they ain't even in range to fight Tank at the moment. Like they just use the Tank name as clout. You feel me? So like Tank, you give off that he ain't smart, but Tank is very smart. Like and he know how to move in this shit. And people hate that he moved the way he moved, but it is what it is, man. So that was a good topic right there, man. I want to bring into the next one. Um, what is that? What I had that at? The next one. All right, so this is a good question right here because these fights are coming up. All right, which fight is better, man? The Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach rematch or Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Zepeda? What fight
You
you
want me
think
to?
better? Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. The fight I think is better. Williams Zepeda, Shakur, Tank, and Roach Jr. And this is not me being biased. I'm a Tank fan, but this is not me even being biased. I feel like Tank and Roach is going to be better just because of the history they already have and the fact that we've seen how Roach did against Tank. It makes it more intriguing to see, okay, what is Tank going to do different in his training Is he gonna have Coach Calvin as his main trainer? Like I feel like it should have been from the gate. I think that he's the one that understands Tank more than anybody. I don't think anybody else has that type of level of a chemistry with Tank. So I think if he gets Coach Calvin as his main trainer, it's going to bring out that real beast out of Tank, and he's going to actually probably get a stoppage this time around with Roach Jr. Um, Saying all that, I think Williams Zepeda versus Shakur is going to be a good fight, more or less because of the pay. The fact that
Right.
he's going to be the one on that front foot, and he's going to be trying to push the pace and set the rhythm and set up traps and push Shakur back. I don't think the fight's going to be necessarily great because of Shakur, because you know how Shakur does. We all know how he
We don't
does.
know how we don't know what we're gonna get out of him in this fight.
Exactly.
That's the most intriguing thing about that fight is what Shakur is gonna show up. Is Shakur gonna be aggressive and have be offensive in this fight, or he's just gonna be passive and be all the defense in the fight? Like that's the most intriguing part about that fight with Shakur and Williams Zepeda. And I'm hoping, I'm praying for him to be offensive in this fight. Because I'm
Right.
already looking at like I said, and you seen the live I did the other day where I was like, some of these fights come about, I literally sit there and like visualize them in the ring and visualize how this shit can go down. I'm just like, if Shakur go in this ring, if he go in this fight with Williams Zepeda and he be gunshot in this fight, it's going to be bad for him. And I'm going to continue to say this all up until July 12th because he can't sit there and only throw 5, 10 punches in a round with the guy that's trying to throw damn near 100 punches per round. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to bowl well. Like, this man, Williams Zepeda, throws over 1,000 punches in every fight. Like, so like Shakur, he can't literally sit there and want to be offensive all night. I mean, be defensive all night and not provide no offense. You got to provide some offense to win this fight. And
And you know what, Sam? If he can, if he can make a great account of himself, if Shakur can look good in a win against Zepeda, that's gonna make him versus Tank huge.
for real, like this is
Huge.
Shakur's big, like this is his biggest fight today. Now, is Zepeda an elite fighter? He's not an elite guy, but he's a guy that's I think he's like a B, B plus, B minus type of guy. You know what I mean, but this fight is a big fight because of the style matchup. You know what I mean, the style is we need to see, what Shakur can do against a guy that is bringing some pressure to the table. You know what I mean, and we're finally going to get to see that. But to answer the question as far as the question, which fight is better? Of course, I'm gonna say Tank and Lamar Roach for the reason of it being a rivalry between them on the DC and Baltimore side, and then especially with the due to the fact that you got guys like a lot of people that they're curious to see what's gonna happen in a rematch. If Tank's gonna fight the same way in the rematch, etc. So there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on for sure, man. So I would definitely take Lamar Roach and Tank Davis for sure, as far as which fight is better in particular. And this poses to a good question right here, man. Um, what's the best division in boxing currently right now? What you think about that? What you think is the best division in boxing currently?
Hmm. Probably. Let me think. Probably one of my favorites is the 147. Um, I don't look at. I need to, but I don't look at many of the bantamweights and the small featherweights, the real little guys. I haven't seen a lot of them, but like the welterweights and stuff like that. I'd be loving the
Yeah,
welterweights and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say probably the super welterweight division, the 154, with Fundora, Tim
Madrimov,
Tszyu,
yeah,
and
Madrimov.
Madrimov and all of them. Like the 154 division is a hot division right now because a lot of those guys that was reigning supreme at 147, they all up at 154 now. And now it's a real hot division with a lot of big names at 154. And I'm hoping that Boots will make the move to 154 because I want to see him
Yes,
fight
sir.
those
Yes,
guys
sir.
eventually,
Yeah.
man. Because like I've been saying, I've been on record, I've been like, Boots, more. Barrios and Norman, they're not trying to fight you right now. They're not. They're moving clearly away from that fight with you. So, bro, eventually you're going to have to go up to 154 and get it cracking up there, man. They're going to have to get it cracking up there because the 154 is the glamour division, and there's a lot of big money fights for him up there. Like specifically the Virgil Ortiz fight. That's the one that everybody want to see because everybody been wanting to see that when Virgil Ortiz was at 147 and Boots, Boots being there too. So I would say 154 for sure. And
Yeah.
another question, man, as far as that. Now, pertaining to that, I would say 154 is the top division. Top division. I would say behind them, I would maybe say. I say 168. I'd say 168 a little bit. 168 got some names up there. Then maybe 135 from there, and then maybe 140. Then we get into 100 and the 126-pound division is starting to heat up a little bit for sure. It got some smoke at 175. It's some smoke
I'm
up there at
about to say that. I'm
175.
just about to go there.
Yeah,
Light heavy. It's pretty nice.
yeah.
It's like the dark horse. They
Yeah,
definitely
it's
got
picking
some.
up at 175, and then the heavyweight. How can the heavy? This is my question for you because I made this question specifically for you because I'm really curious myself, and I was thinking about this. How can the heavyweight division become reign supreme again at the top of boxing again?
That's a good question, man. It's a pretty deep question actually. Um, but I would say the fact that it's starting to slowly evolve again, like with this younger generation, that's gonna be pushing the older ones out. So like pretty soon, once if AJ fights Wilder and Fury, and then a rematch with Dubois, AJ only needs like 3 or 4 more fights to finish off his career.
All right.
Uh, so he'll be gone, and then Wilder, he'll be going around the same time as AJ. Fury, if he comes back, he'll have a couple more fights. He's retiring. So then it's gonna be them guys like Fabio Wardley, who's up and coming, looking good. Uh, Moses Ntuma, who's a young up and coming big name. He's
Right.
looking good. I don't know the status of Jared Anderson, big baby. Is he gonna? He had called out, said he wanted a rematch. He wanted to run it back with Bacoli, but that's just a bad style matchup. Um, but big baby Anderson, big baby Miller, he has a couple more fights left in him. Ruiz, he's never consistent. So you got all these guys that the older ones like that, they're gonna start phasing out. So pretty much, I think Fabio Wardley, Moses Ntuma, maybe Frazier Clark, uh, and a few other handful of other guys are gonna be the ones that kind of like really starting to, make a name. And hopefully some other guys start to pop up. Some new guys start to make a debut. We start seeing these new
Right.
faces pop up. Especially from over here in America. We need some more American, big, some hot guys from over here. Which I know it's got to be talent over here somewhere. America's too big to not have some talent. You mean to tell me
Right.
from
That's what I was thinking right there.
there ain't nobody?
Bro,
You know?
because I heard a quote from Turkey recently where Turkey was saying that like the heavyweight division was real popular when you had it was crazy he said this. I didn't like how he said this, but he made all the sense in saying this though. He said that the heavyweight division was real glamorous when you had a lot of the black African American fighters on top and they were champions. And I was sitting there, I'm like, he just said that. I'm like, he said the black. And I'm like, he ain't lying on this though. He actually right for once. Like, and I'm like, yeah, we like America. Like we used to run. Like you may had a guy like Lennox Lewis out there in UK. Out there, being a champion out there in the UK. But a lot of the heavyweight champions, a lot of guys was from America, and a lot of them was black. And right now, we only person we have is what Bacoli, Ajagba, Jared Anderson, Daniel Dubois. We don't have many of them, but from America, we only have Jared Anderson. What you want to say? Throw in Michael Hunter? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
Michael.
like,
He ain't been doing much, but yeah, Michael Hunter,
I ain't seen
Big
Michael
Baby
Hunter
Anderson.
since the AB card. He fought on AB and Blair Cobb's card. I ain't seen him fight since then.
And then, Miller's cool, but I just don't think he's the answer as far as, he's all right, but he ain't gonna be nobody. I don't think it's gonna be no,
Right,
what I mean, put anybody in seats. He's good from the entertainment aspect as far as he got the bully image and he's always running his mouth. But Big
right,
Baby Miller, he ain't gonna be the answer.
right, man. I don't think like Big Baby Miller. He's really like on gatekeeper time, and for real, he's really like a gatekeeper
Yeah,
within the
yeah,
heavyweight division. You know what I
yep.
mean?
Good
And
chin, big boy, good chin. You take a hit, he's gonna keep. He's gonna let his hands go though. Even though he's a big boy, he's gonna let his hands go. So he's that type of guy, like you say. He's a perfect gatekeeper because he's gonna be a tough night's work for anybody.
right. Right, man. I'm just thinking, I'm like, America, we don't like I was real hopeful in Big Baby Anderson, especially him being an Ohio guy, being from Toledo. I'm really like, oh, he's looking good. But then, I gotta be logical. I'm like, okay, the fights that he's fighting when he was, the last couple of years, some of the fights was no layup fights for him, the stuff over there at top rank. No top rank, they were moving him very strategic and very well. And that's why Bob Earl was so pissed off about him taking that Bacoli fight because they had a trajectory on what they were doing for Big Baby Anderson's career. They was trying to put him in championship contention to where he was going to be fighting for one of these titles possibly this year or next year possibly. And that fight with Bacoli taking the money, you know what I'm saying? That messed up his trajectory. And now, but I just seen Bob Earl the other day. He was saying that, they asked him about, Big Baby Anderson, and he said, right now, Big Baby Anderson, he isn't doing much. I know he's training a little bit, but we're supposed to meet with him soon and talk about his next fight. And then he went in to talk about the situation with Bacoli and Turkey, saying that they pressured him into that fight, into taking that fight, and then they looking at the money offered, and he like, oh, I'm taking the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the money, and they're not even thinking of the style. They like Bob Earl was saying it was a bad style matchup. We would have never agreed to that fight for him. We wouldn't have even gave him that fight right now because we didn't think he was ready for this fight. And it clearly
Well,
showed in the fight that he wasn't.
he wasn't,
But
and
I
he
mean,
went.
anything can happen in the fights though. We watched the fights to see what happened, but it was a bad style matchup and they did Big Baby Anderson bad, on that I think it was on the Keyshawn card. He was fighting at the bottom of the card, starting off the night. I'm like, damn, he went from main event. A lot of these fights where Keyshawn was fighting on his damn undercard, and now he's fighting on Keyshawn's undercard now. I'm like, damn, that was crazy. But
And
we
I
know top
think,
rank. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
about to say that's my
No,
bad.
go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was just thinking, like you're saying about like Big Baby Anderson. It's like with every fighter, you kind of got to have all the ducks in the row to an extent. And then you also got to be willing to make adjustments at some point because, hey, the greatest have done it. I wasn't a Lennox Lewis fan per se myself in that time. In the 90s, I wasn't a fan of Lennox Lewis. But what I did know about him is that he was smart enough to know that after he got knocked out by McCall and Oliver McCall and Hasim Rockman, when he talked to Emmanuel, the late great Emmanuel Stewart, he kind of broke it down on why he got caught like he got caught when he got knocked out. And he worked with him and took him up under his wing. So Anderson needs somebody who's going to be a Hall of Famer type trainer that can really
Hmm.
work with him on his defense and a couple of tweaks and a couple of areas where he was getting caught by Bacoli. There's a lot of like mistakes he was making, but he's kind of young, so you kind of expect somebody kind of green like Anderson to make the type of mental mistakes he was making because he's still technically he's still kind of green. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Right,
first
right,
step
right,
after Charles Martin, he shouldn't have leaped all the way to Bacoli. He should have went from Charles
right,
Martin to somebody who's just a step above Charles Martin and slowly keep walking up. He kind of took a big leap to go from Charles Martin to Bacoli, somebody that big, somebody that much power and that type of style. He should have like, and plus being active is another big issue. Big Baby Anderson, man, these guys need to fight at least 3 times a year. Just fighting once a year and once a year, every 18 months. That's not going to cut it. You're not going to stay sharp.
right, right. And I think what Big Baby Anderson is just like, I don't know. I know he works. I know Jay Prince is his manager, and I know the last fight he ended up working with Tyson Fury's trainer. He was for that Bacoli fight, but that experience didn't work. So, what's the next step before for Anderson? Like, I mean, I know he won his last fight, and it wasn't a great performance in that last fight. Coming off the loss, for real. Honestly, I don't even think he stopped dude. I don't remember. Did he stop dude in that fight? I don't remember
I'm
if
gonna
he
go watch
stopped
it.
him or
I'm
not.
gonna watch it after this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch running
I'm
back.
trying to think if he stopped dude. But I just thinking of like now you got guys with top rank. They're promoting Richard Torres as their top heavyweight now because he just main evented a quarter a few weeks ago, and now it's like Richard Torres didn't look all that great for real. So it's like top rank. What y'all doing with y'all two best heavyweights? Y'all got to see who y'all gonna invest in. So who's gonna be the guy y'all gonna invest in? Is y'all gonna match them up and put them together on the court and fight each other? That's what I feel like they need to do. Y'all need to see who gonna be the guy we're gonna put our money into and invest in to be that next top heavyweight for America because we need a top guy in America as heavy in the heavyweight division. That the heavyweight division was supposed to be the real glamour division. That division 147, 154. Those are the three divisions that's supposed to be, the reigning supreme divisions of boxing. And right now, we can't even get heavyweight as a top three division right now because of, the fighters is not that talented. The talent pool at the heavyweight division isn't as strong as it was in the past. And a lot of the guys that are good, some of these guys isn't here in America. These guys are in it, in overseas and in the UK and out there, in Africa and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And speaking of America, I do think the son, I follow Junior, Bruce Seldon's son. I just don't know if he's how his management is or his marketing. You know what I mean? Are they marketing him as well as he should? I got to do more research into everything that's pertaining to him. You know what I mean? But
Right.
Bruce Seldon Jr. He's been doing his thing, so I don't know. Like I said, at what level though? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I just want to. I would love to see the heavyweight division just get back to, a lot of classic fights because the heavyweights. That's where the action is at. Those big guys, man. You most likely you gonna get a knockout. We gonna get all the entertainment we gonna get out of the heavyweight division. Now these
Mm-hmm.
lower weight divisions, we getting a lot of different, a lot of boxing track stars, a lot of crazy stuff going on with these lower divisions, man. And we don't see that from the heavyweights because these guys they trying to get each other out of there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Facts,
Fact.
man. So going to the next topic, this one right here, this is a good question. Give me your top 10 current fighters, your top 10 favorite fighters currently fighting right now that's active.
Okay. On top 10.
It don't got to be no list. No, I mean like for it don't got to be in order. It don't got to be in order. You
Right.
can just throw
All
some
right.
names, throw your top 10 names.
Okay. Errol Spence, Tank Davis. Um, I like Caleb Plant a lot, just because he's a throwback fighter. Joseph Parker, I like him because he's a throwback fighter. Uh, he grew on me, but Bud Crawford. Even though I'm still more of a Smith fan though, but
Facts, facts.
I'll give it to Crawford. That's 5. Anthony Joshua. Um, let's see. Dimitri Bivol. I like him. Of course, David Benavidez, Mexican monster. David Benavidez. Waiting for him to get back in there too.
Facts.
That's 8 of them. I think the last 2. I would say. Yeah, see, this area's a little harder to think. You know what I mean? If some names like a lot of money because it ain't like it was back in the 90s. You can just
You're
drop names.
right. Right.
I can't make it of them.
Man, I remember I came up with a list of my top 10 current fighters from like last year, like a few days after my birthday, February 8th, 2024. Like I got it in my notes right now where I'm looking at it. I'm like, mine haven't changed a little bit. It ain't really changed much as far as my list, but of course, my top 10 current favorite fighters right now, Tank Davis, of course, Bud Crawford. I had to say Bud Crawford for sure. Boots Ennis, David Benavidez. Yeah, yeah, David Benavidez. Now what anyway? I gotta say one of my favorite fighters to watch right now for sure. I want to see the competition be better, but I'm rocking with anyway. I'm a fan of David Morrell. I'm a fan of David Morrell. I like David Morrell. Alexander Usyk for sure. Um, Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, man. That's every time if I miss the Abdullah Mason fight, I'd be pissed. Like I'd be like like um Arthur Beterbiev. I like how he crack out there. Him and Bevel. You know what I'm saying? Bevel. Are you good, Doobie, man? Hey, family. Hey, handle the family, bro. You all good, bro. You all good. You good.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Duke
Bevel.
for sure.
So I got what? Earl Spence is still my guy, even though he ain't active right now. So I can't have him in my list because he ain't active currently. But I would have him if he was active. He'd be on my list. But Earl, that's one of my favorite fighters of all time. You know what I mean? I love Earl. Um, I got Tank, Bud, Boots, David Benavidez, Nawa Anyway, David Morrell, Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bevell. Nawa Anyway, Abdullah Mason, and my 10th one, Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk right now, and which is a lot of those guys. You know, majority of them are on pound for pound list. Besides Abdullah Mason, I mean, but that's the top 10 current favorite fighters I got, man. Which is the thing with what we seeing, as far as these guys, a lot of these guys are active and they all getting to it, man. They all getting to it. You know, David Benavidez possibly going to fight Jesse Hart coming up this summer. They're trying to figure out a date for him right now. Of course, you got Tank Davis. He's fighting Lamont Roach August 16th in Las Vegas. Then, of course, you got Bud Crawford fighting Canelo, fighting July 13th now. No, my bad. September 13th. My bad. September 13th. So you got Bud Crawford versus Canelo, September 13th now. David Morrell, he's fighting a tough fight on that July 12th card on the Ring 3 magazine card. Now, anyway, we're going to see him fight MJ towards the end of the summer. Once you got that fight going on. Boots Ennis and talks to fight Teofimo Lopez currently right now. You know what I mean, and Alexander Usyk about to fight Daniel Dubois July 19th. And oh my God, hey, I got to do an honorable mention, man. Bam Rodriguez, man. I love watching him fight, man. Bam Rodriguez, he is amazing, man. I love watching him fight for real. Like, that's one of my favorite fighters for real right now too. Like that's just a little honorable mention outside of the top 10. He may have to be in the top 10. I might even stretch it a little bit. I don't know, man. But I got a lot of guys I love. Bam Rodriguez. Um, who fought last week that I enjoyed? I think of who fought last week. Uh, oh, Rafael Espinosa. I'm a big fan of Rafael Espinosa. Watching him, like I like watching him. He nice as hell too. Nice as hell, man. So it's some fighters out there that's solid, that's holding it down, like like the old school guys. But then you got some of these guys, a lot of them that's not. And we got
Yeah.
a lot of great fights coming up from May 31st on up till September 13th, up until Bud and Canelo. And we're gonna be talking about a lot of them over the course of these weeks and stuff. I ain't gonna. Now I wish Doobie and Ish is on because I would have went over some of the fights, but it's all good because we gonna mess around and try to link up and get another day that we can do this live again. Keep this round table going on and keep this conversation with boxing flowing very well, man, for sure, man. I appreciate my dog Ring Walk Boxing Podcast Bean, man. Appreciate you hopping on today, man. Taking time out of your Saturday, joining the show, man, for sure. And everybody, make sure y'all subscribe to Ring Walk Boxing Podcast on YouTube. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all platforms. You know what I mean? Definitely support my guys, man. My guys, Dean and JC, they doing some great work on the boxing content right now, man. So definitely subscribe to Ring Walk Boxing Podcast on YouTube and follow them on all socials. And of course, y'all watching this live stream back, man, on a replay. Like and comment on the live stream for sure, man, on this show for sure. This was dope dialogue that we had today for sure. You know what I mean? And make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to CamJNetwork, man. We working. You know what I'm saying? We got another show coming up at 4 o'clock with my guys, Buckeye Steppers. So we working today. So CamJNetwork, man, we got hella content going on today. But on the boxing side, this was great. This was a great show, man, for sure. We gonna work on it and get the round table together. You know what I'm saying? Clean it up a lot more, but I definitely want to do this at least once a week where I get y'all guys coming on and we politic, you know what I mean? Because I like hearing different opinions. I don't want everybody I want to be challenged at times when I be on some of my shows. I
Yeah.
don't want everybody to be on my show to agree with me. You know what I
You gotta
mean?
get Mike Ware on here, man, sometimes if you free.
Yeah, Mike Ware, man, that's an easy body bag there for him, man. But I like Mike Ware though, because Mike Ware, he's starting to like grasp a lot of stuff now for real. Like, as far as like what we be cooking up a little bit, he's starting to grasp it a lot more and see a lot of the stuff, through and through for real. Because that's one of my things for us with the content. If you like, I think with a lot of logic with the content with boxing and any sport that I cover and anything in entertainment, I think with a lot of logic, and I want people to hear my logic and they be like, oh, he making a lot of sense. Like, that man, he be cooking up over there. Like, I'm gonna tap in and watch him, because he giving it up, how I wanna hear it. So yeah,
Right.
man, definitely, man. We gonna definitely do this again, man. We're gonna try to see what day we can link up and do this again for this next week, man, for sure, man. But like I said, y'all subscribe to CamJNetwork on YouTube, follow CamJNetwork on all platforms, and subscribe to Ringwall Boxing Podcast. Subscribe to my dog Doobie's Ring on YouTube as well, and follow him on all socials as well, man. My boy doing some great work over there for sure, man. And we out of here, man. Salute, man. We out of here for sure. My dog.